10 people who vanished into thin air, and were never found. One moment they were here, laughing, talking, living. The next, gone. No goodbyes, no trace, no closure. Throughout history, people have vanished without a sound, without a sign, and without explanation. Some were captured on camera moments before they disappeared. Others left behind chilling clues that only deepened the mystery. Were they taken? Did they run? Or did something far more unexplainable happen? These aren't fiction. These are 10 real cases of people who vanished into thin air and were never seen again. 1. Brian Schaffer, the man who never left the bar. It was April 1st, 2006. Brian Schaffer, a 27-year-old medical student at Ohio State University, was celebrating the start of spring break. He and his friends went out for drinks at the Ugly Tuna Saloon, a bar in Columbus. Surveillance footage shows Brian entering the bar around 1:15 a.m. He was seen talking to 2 women near the escalator. Then he vanished. No footage ever showed him leaving. Not through the front. Not through the back. No emergency exits were used. No blind spots covered his escape. It was as if he had simply ceased to exist. Police reviewed the tapes dozens of times. Nothing. They even checked dumpsters, construction sites, rooftops. Cadaver dogs searched nearby. His apartment showed no signs of trouble. His credit cards, phone, and bank account were untouched. There was no motive for him to disappear. He had a loving family, a girlfriend he planned to propose to, and no history of mental illness or distress. The case remains one of the most bizarre urban disappearances in U.S. history. Some theorists suggest he snuck out in disguise. Others believe foul play was involved. There are even claims he was abducted or somehow died inside the building and his body hidden. But to this day, Brian Schaffer has never been found. A man walked into a bar and vanished. Literally. 2. Lars Mittank, the tourist who ran into the woods. June 2014. Lars Mittank, a 28-year-old German man, was vacationing in Bulgaria with friends. During a night out, he got into a minor altercation and suffered a ruptured eardrum. Doctors told him not to fly. His friends returned home. Lars stayed behind alone in a hotel near Varna Airport. In phone calls to his mother, he became paranoid. He said he was being followed, that men were after him, that he was hiding. He whispered on the phone as if afraid to be overheard. Then came the footage. Security cameras at Varna Airport show Lars entering the terminal calmly. Moments later, he's seen sprinting out of the building, leaving his luggage behind. He bolts across the parking lot, scales a fence, and disappears into the dense forest. He was never seen again. Theories range from a psychotic break to side effects from the antibiotics he was prescribed to something more sinister. Was he actually being followed? Was someone after him? To this day, no trace of Lars Mittank has ever been found. A man ran out of an airport and into the unknown. 3. Amy Lynn Bradley. Vanished from a cruise ship in March 1998, Amy Lynn Bradley, a 23-year-old from Virginia, was on a family cruise in the Caribbean. One evening, she had drinks, danced at the club, and returned to the cabin around 3:45 a.m. At 5:30 a.m., her father saw her resting on the balcony. By 6 a.m., she was gone. No one saw her fall, no splash, no body. Security cameras never captured her leaving, and the ship had already docked. Then came the sightings. Over the years, several people reported seeing a woman resembling Amy in Caribbean locations. One said she approached them in a bathroom and whispered she was being held against her will. Was she kidnapped? Trafficked? Did she fall overboard? But if so, where is her body? Why were there sightings? Despite FBI involvement and a $250,000 reward, Amy was never found. Her case remains one of the most disturbing mysteries ever to take place at sea. 4. Brandon Swanson. The Call in the Dark. May 14, 2008. 19-year-old Brandon Swanson was driving home late at night in rural Minnesota. He accidentally drove into a ditch and called his parents for help. He seemed calm. He said he was near the town of Lind and began walking toward lights he believed were from a nearby town. He stayed on the phone with his father for 47 minutes. Then he suddenly shouted, "Osht!" and the line went dead. Despite massive searches, no trace of Brandon has ever been found. Not a shoe, not a phone, nothing. What did he see? What scared him in that final moment? Did he fall? Was he attacked? The mystery is made worse by the fact that he had no reason to disappear. Just a boy walking on a dark road, and then silence. 5. The Sodder children. Vanished in a fire Christmas Eve, 1945. The Sodder family home in Fayetteville, West Virginia caught fire. George and Jenny Sodder escaped with 4 of their 10 children. 5 were never seen again. The fire destroyed the house, but investigators found no remains, no bones, no teeth, nothing. Strangely, the phone lines were cut. The ladder used to escape the upper floors was missing. A woman claimed she saw the children peering from a car window as the house burned. George put up a billboard with the children's faces, offering rewards, demanding answers. Theories emerged: mafia retaliation, kidnapping, mistaken identity. But no evidence was ever confirmed. To this day, the disappearance of the Sodder children is one of the most chilling cold cases in American history. 6. Maura Murray. The student who left and never returned. February 2004. Maura Murray, a 21-year-old nursing student, emailed her professors that she had a family emergency and would be gone for a week. There was no emergency. She packed her car, withdrew 280, and drove north to rural New Hampshire. Late that night, she crashed into a snowbank near the town of Woodsville. A local neighbor saw her and offered help. She declined, saying she had called roadside assistance. Police arrived 10 minutes later. She was gone. Her car was locked. Her belongings were inside. Her phone and credit cards were never used again. Why did she lie to her professors? Where was she going? Did someone pick her up? Maura's disappearance sparked countless theories and online forums. But no solid lead has ever emerged. She vanished into the cold and into legend. 7. Louis Le Prince. The forgotten father of film in 1890, Louis Le Prince was on the verge of becoming a global name. He had invented one of the earliest motion picture cameras, before Edison or the Lumiere brothers. Then, just before presenting his invention in the US, he boarded a train from Dijon to Paris. He never arrived. There were no witnesses, no body, no luggage. He simply disappeared between stops. Some believe he was murdered by rivals in the race for film patents. Others say he disappeared on purpose. One theory even claims Thomas Edison was involved in a conspiracy. Le Prince's name was nearly erased from film history. And to this day, the mystery of what happened to him remains unsolved. 8. Zygmunt Adamski, the man who reappeared dead. In June 1980, Zygmunt Adamski, a 56-year-old coal miner from England, vanished while running errands. 5 days later, his body was found on top of a coal pile. Not buried, placed neatly. He was wearing a suit, but his shirt was missing. There were strange burns on his neck and shoulders. Covered in a jelly-like substance the coroner couldn't identify. His face was calm, as if he had died peacefully, despite the odd injuries. Police couldn't explain how he got there. Some suggested he had been abducted. Theories of alien involvement even surfaced due to the bizarre circumstances. Zygmunt's death remains a haunting anomaly in British crime history. 9. The Flannan Isles. Lighthouse keepers. 3 men lost to the sea. In December 1900, a supply ship arrived at the Flannan Isles lighthouse off the coast of Scotland. The lighthouse was silent. No one came to greet them. Inside, the fire was out. Meals uneaten. 2 oilskins missing. 1 was left behind. The logbook mentioned a violent storm, though no such storm had occurred. 3 lighthouse keepers were never found. Did they fall into the sea? Did one kill the others and leap after? Were they taken? The mystery inspired poems, films, and legends. To this day, the men of the Flannan Isles remain missing, claimed perhaps by something darker than the ocean. 10. The Bennington Triangle Disappearances. Between 1945 and 1950, several people vanished in the Bennington Triangle, a remote region in Vermont. A man named Mitty Rivers disappeared while hunting. Then 18-year-old Paula Weldon vanished while hiking a trail. Her red coat never seen again. An entire busload of students went missing. A toddler disappeared, only for search dogs to stop abruptly at a clearing, as if the trail ended mid-air. No remains, no signs, no clues. Locals blame the land. They say there's something in the forests, something that watches, waits, and takes. Whatever the truth is, the Bennington Triangle remains one of North America's most ominous hotspots for the unexplained. They left no notes, no cries for help, no second chances. These people vanished, and with them pieces of reality fractured. Were they victims? Or chosen? or simply unlucky to step too close to the edge of something we don't yet understand. Until their stories are solved, one terrifying truth remains. You can vanish. Anywhere, anytime, without a trace.